Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! The whispers had been growing for weeks, echoing through the narrow streets of Glasgow and reaching far beyond the Scottish borders, teasing fans and pundits alike with hints of a major coup on the horizon for Celtic. Rumours of a Japanese sensation setting foot in Scottish football had begun as little more than murmurs in Asian media outlets, but soon they snowballed into a crescendo that no football follower could ignore. KEITA Kosugi, a name that had been on the lips of scouts and agents from Tokyo to Osaka, was suddenly at the center of every conversation, and Celtic, renowned for its shrewd acquisitions and bold statements in the transfer market, seemed poised to make a move that would not only strengthen the squad, but also solidify its presence in Asia. The idea of a Japanese winger taking the boys by storm had sparked imaginations everywhere, conjuring images of lightning-fast runs down the flanks, precise crosses, and a flair for the dramatic that could transform games in moments. Fans who had grown accustomed to rumors about distant stars felt a rare sense of anticipation and uncertainty mingled with excitement as the notion of Kosugi donning the green and white hoops shifted from distant fantasy to something tantalizingly close to reality. Every social media post, every cryptic club tweet seemed to fan the flames further, and the collective imagination of the Celtic faithful ran wild, pondering the possibilities of a samurai on the right flank, a player whose energy and skill could rewrite the expectations for the squad. It was no longer just about football. It had become a cultural phenomenon, a point of connection between continents, between fans, separated by thousands of miles, yet united in their curiosity and hope that this acquisition would mark the beginning of a new era. As the rumors persisted, analysts and insiders began dissecting every potential impact of Kosugi's arrival, speculating not only on his immediate contributions on the pitch, but also on the strategic implications for Celtic as a club reaching far into the Asian market. Discussions ranged from tactical formations to merchandising opportunities, with the idea that a Japanese star could attract a surge of international attention, sponsorships, and even young talents looking to emulate his journey. The thought that Celtic might be positioning itself as a gateway between Scottish football and Asia had fans buzzing with anticipation, imagining a future where the club's matches were followed not just locally but across Tokyo, Osaka, and beyond, with live streams watched eagerly by a new generation of supporters and imagination. Rumors of Kosugi's speed, technical ability, and adaptability circulated freely, each account more optimistic than the last, painting the picture of a winger capable of running circles around defenders, delivering pinpoint crosses, and blending seamlessly into a team that already thrived on cohesion and creativity. Conversations in Glasgow pubs, online forums, and even casual chats at football academies had shifted as supporters debated where Kosugi would slot into the starting 11, who he might partner with in attack, and how his presence could influence the team's rhythm and momentum during high-stakes matches. The mystery surrounding the exact details of the transfer only amplified the intrigue, leaving fans craving confirmation, snapshots of training sessions, or even glimpses of Kosugi stepping onto Celtic soil. The club's management, aware of the frenzy, seemed to play along dropping subtle hints without full disclosure, feeding the narrative while keeping the ultimate revelation shrouded in secrecy. Every mention in the press, every speculation by pundits became a piece of a puzzle that supporters felt compelled to complete, and the atmosphere around Celtic's fan base was electric with expectation, hope, and a hint of disbelief that such a signing might be within reach. Beyond the tactical and commercial implications, the human element of Kosugi's move added layers of fascination and narrative to the unfolding saga. Stories of his childhood in Japan, the local pitches where he first honed his dribbling and vision, and the mentors who shaped his early career began surfacing, often shared in hushed tones by those claiming insider knowledge. Rumors painted him as not just a talented footballer, but a figure embodying discipline, humility, and the intense work ethic commonly associated with samurai culture. Fans speculated how this mindset would translate onto the Celtic pitch, imagining a player whose determination and focus could galvanize teammates and inspire younger players in the academy. The cultural bridge between Japan and Scotland was highlighted in every discussion, with supporters envisioning celebrations that merged traditions, chants that resonated across continents, and merchandise that appealed to a diverse fan base hungry for connection and representation. Even skeptics who questioned his readiness for the physical demands of Scottish football seemed unable to resist the allure of the narrative, acknowledging that talent coupled with dedication and adaptability had propelled many foreign players to prominence in the Premiership. The murmurs of excitement were compounded by cryptic messages on social media, a subtle nod to his imminent arrival from club insiders, leading to wild speculation about flight schedules, training sessions, and the first public appearance in Glasgow. Fans eagerly imagined the day when Kosugi would step onto the pitch, the green and white of Celtic draped around his shoulders, ready to carve a place in history. This sense of storytelling and of witnessing the birth of a legend in real time added emotional depth to the buzz, turning what could have been a simple transfer into a cultural moment with ramifications far beyond football alone. Every rumor, whether grounded in truth or pure speculation, became a thread in a rich tapestry of anticipation, weaving together hope, curiosity, and the thrill of imagining what could be. Speculation around Kosugi's style of play became a constant topic of debate, with pundits and fans dissecting every clip, highlight reel, and interview that surfaced online. Talk of his agility, the fluidity of his dribbles, and his vision for threading passes through tight spaces created a sense that Celtic were not just signing a player, but acquiring a tool to expand their tactical possibilities. Conversations about his potential combinations with existing stars intensified, each scenario more tantalizing than the last, suggesting that the right wing could become a theater of speed, precision, and unpredictability. Analysts imagined him pairing with a central forward whose movement would create space, allowing Kosugi to exploit gaps in opposition defenses, delivering crosses that could tilt matches in an instant. Fans debated formations late into the night, hypothesizing if a traditional 4-3-3 would suit his strengths or if a more fluid approach would allow him to truly shine. Beyond the pitch, the discussions also encompassed the wider strategic vision for the club, considering how his presence might open doors to scouting networks, partnerships, and fan engagement in Asia. The notion that a single signing could ripple across continents, influencing both sporting outcomes and commercial strategies, added a sense of grandeur and drama to the rumors. Every snippet of information, every insider hint was dissected analyzed and magnified, creating a continuous cycle of anticipation that kept Celtic supporters on edge, yearning for confirmation and dreaming of the impact this samurai could make in green and white. The excitement was almost palpable, a living entity that seemed to grow with each passing day as the story of Kosugi intertwined with the identity of Celtic itself, shaping expectations and stirring imaginations across the globe. The financial implications of signing a Japanese star were also a topic that stirred endless speculation as pundits weighed the potential for merchandise sales, brand partnerships, and media attention. The Celtic board, known for its savvy business sense, appeared to be orchestrating a masterstroke, combining sporting ambition with market strategy. Fans speculated on the flood of new jerseys with Kosugi's name across Asia, the increase in broadcast deals, and the surge in social media engagement that could come from connecting with a passionate and expanding audience. The rumors painted a picture of a club operating on multiple fronts, not only strengthening the squad but also cementing its brand as a global football powerhouse with deep ties to Asia. Conversations often pivoted to the potential influence on youth academies, imagining how aspiring young players in Japan might now see Celtic as a pathway to professional football. Inspired by Kosugi's journey, this prospect, combined with the expected boost in ticket sales, international tours, and fan engagement, painted a picture of strategic foresight that elevated the signing beyond the mere addition of talent. It was as if every aspect of the transfer had been carefully considered, from the cultural impact to the economic opportunities, creating a narrative of meticulous planning and ambition. The anticipation surrounding Kosugi's arrival was not only about watching a footballer play, it was about witnessing the unfolding of a larger vision, a ripple effect that extended from the Scottish Premiership to the bustling cities of Tokyo, Osaka, and beyond, forging connections and igniting imaginations in ways that transcended sport itself. By now, the conversation had permeated every corner of the fan base, from casual supporters to die-hard followers, with social media acting as a conduit for speculation, debate, and anticipation. Every cryptic tweet, every Instagram story hint, and every offhand comment by club officials became fuel for rumor, magnifying the sense of expectancy that seemed to hover over Celtic Park. The idea of a Japanese winger stepping into the squad had evolved from a fleeting thought into a full-blown narrative, complete with imagined scenarios, projected performances, and cultural significance. Supporters found themselves discussing not only tactical fit, but also personal character, media interactions, and how Kosugi might adapt to Scottish life and football culture. Pubs, online forums, and fan chats became arenas of debate, with each theory challenged, defended, and reimagined, turning speculation into an immersive experience. Even rival fans could not resist following the story, often sharing clips and analysis, inadvertently contributing to the buzz. The rumor had transcended its origin, evolving into a phenomenon that touched sport, business, culture, and identity, with every hint of confirmation met with euphoric excitement. The narrative continued to grow organically, fed by curiosity, imagination, and the shared desire to witness something extraordinary. Celtic supporters, aware they were part of a story larger than a single signing, waited with bated breath, knowing that the moment Kosugi finally arrived would be a defining chapter in the club's ongoing saga, one whispered across continents, yet felt intimately in the heart of every fan. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans The excitement surrounding Kosugi's potential debut created an atmosphere of restless anticipation, as if every training session, every glimpse of the squad could provide hints about the Samurai's readiness and integration into Celtic's system. Fans speculated endlessly about how the team would adapt to his presence, imagining scenarios where his lightning-quick dribble would break defensive lines, or where his intelligent positioning would create opportunities for the forwards. Rumors circulated about who would shoulder responsibility alongside him in attack, whether established stars would adjust their roles, or whether Kosugi would push for a more dynamic, fluid style that challenged the tactical norms of the league. Social media platforms buzzed with heated debates, video analyses, and shared highlight reels, often edited with imagined combinations and dream goals, feeding a narrative that blurred the line between reality and expectation. Every hint dropped by club insiders, from subtle comments in interviews to photographs of training sessions, was dissected as evidence of imminent brilliance. Even casual supporters who might not follow every tactical nuance felt compelled to join the conversation, swept up in the collective anticipation of witnessing something extraordinary. The story had become bigger than a single transfer. It was now a symbol of ambition, cultural bridging, and the thrill of imagining how one player could shift the dynamics of both a team and a global fan base. Rumors of Kosugi's impact on Celtic style, his chemistry with teammates, and even his off-field influence on fan engagement in Asia persisted, forming a continuous current of excitement that showed no sign of fading. Speculation about his physical adaptation to Scottish football became a topic of intense discussion, with analysts and supporters dissecting every detail of Kosugi's training regimen, diet, and reported fitness levels. Questions arose about how his body would cope with the rigors of the Premiership, the intensity of tackles, and the unpredictability of the weather that often defined home fixtures. Rumors suggested that Celtic's coaching staff had developed a specialized program balancing endurance, agility, and recovery, ensuring that Kosugi could perform at his peak while minimizing the risk of injury. The idea of integrating a player accustomed to a different style of play, one focused on precision and technical skill, into a league known for physicality and pace, fascinated fans and pundits alike. Conversations speculated about the potential for injury prevention technologies, sports science, innovations, and personal mentorship by senior players to help Kosugi adapt. Some supporters imagined scenarios where his skill and intelligence would not only compensate for the physical challenges, but elevate the entire team's performance, inspiring teammates to adopt a more fluid, creative approach to matches. The rumor mill thrived on these speculations, offering detailed, sometimes fantastical visions of Kosugi sprinting down the wing, evading challenges, and producing moments of individual brilliance that could change the course of a game. The narrative around his adaptation extended beyond football tactics, weaving into a larger story of resilience, preparation, and the promise of a new chapter in Celtic's history. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.